Hey guys, what's up? One of the biggest reasons why the Suikoden series got so famous is because of its 3 different battle mechanics in the main series. But are there any other RPGs out there that have more than one battle system? Yes, there are. Alright, so let's go meet them all, and let's begin! Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia has 2 battle systems. The first one involves the classic style turn-based combat. Up to 4 characters can participate per battle, each with their own skills and weapon type. However, they all share the same action bar, and each move requires a specific amount of it. So the key is to strategize each turn on who will do what. Other than that, it's a fun battle system, but nothing really unique. The ship battles are somewhat similar but different at the same time. The same action bar penalty is there, meaning everybody still shares it. Your characters will fight on the ship from different sides, but they all have the regular attacks or skills. However, in these battles, they're focused on one specific weapon of your ship, like the cannons for example. These battles can be somewhat slow because of the animations throughout, but they're still pretty fun. In the end, its 2 combat systems are a variation of one another, but done so in a simple yet entertaining way. Saga Frontier 2. Unlike its prequel, this one has 3 different battle mechanics. There's 2 main characters to choose from, but they all include these various combat missions. You can choose if you want to fight solo or with a party during the regular encounters. With a party, you've got the classic Saga turn-based system based on life points and skill training. If you decide to fight solo, the battles will be played differently though. You'll be able to choose a few actions first, and then battle animations will start between you and your enemy. The combinations matter a lot since they define the type of combos you'll execute. But then, you'll have these war battles where you'll need to strategize a little bit with the position of your characters. After that, the regular turn-based battle system will be played once again. So in reality, this third battle system isn't all that different from the regular one. As you can see, it's practically the same battle system every time, just with a different layout, penalties and conditions on each, which I thought was pretty interesting. Dark Savior. Dark Savior is a Sega Saturn exclusive that fortunately it isn't that expensive yet. It's some kind of spiritual successor to Landstalker on the Sega Genesis developed by the same company. It's an action RPG played in an isometric view with questionable camera and controls. It takes a long time to get used to it, so first impressions are usually negative, but it kinda grows on you because of its boss battle mechanics. Regular navigation through areas include just simple hack and slash combat like in the original Landstalker. It isn't great and outstanding, it's an okay system that's generic at best. The real fun is in the boss battles, as they are literally one-on-one fights. You can't move in any other direction than back and forth though, but the controls are slightly better here. If you defeat an enemy with a special attack, you can actually capture them. Then you can choose to play as them for the next boss battle and so on. Overall, Dark Savior is a pretty unique game with 2 different combat mechanics that can be somewhat of a chore to get into. That doesn't take away the originality though. Super Ninja Boy. This is actually a sequel to Little Ninja Brothers on the NES, but it's the one I played the most. Both, however, include the same 2 battle mechanics. Super Ninja Boy is an action RPG that can be actually played in a 2-player co-op mode. Single player is just as fun though. In the dungeons or the overworld, you'll get random encounters. These will lead you to short beat-em-up battles with obstacles you can destroy. Some platforming areas will also be there to spice things up. The controls are pretty basic and your hitbox is very short, but the sound effects make the combat a little bit more fun. The boss fights, however, are played in turns. The brothers take on one side of the screen while the boss takes the other, as they fight each other in menu-based combat. It's also pretty basic and it doesn't stand out, but merely the fact that you have both an action and a turn-based RPG in one single game is worth the shot. Ni no Kuni 2. This sequel tried to beat Suikoden so hard, it succeeded for the most part. It wasn't everyone's cup of tea either, cause honestly, it just wasn't as good as Suikoden. In Ni no Kuni 2, you've got two different battle systems. The first one is regular action, with a few party members controlled by the AI. You can use whoever you want, but the others will fight on their own. It's similar to the Tales games as a matter of fact. Each character controls differently, but none of them are hard to get used to. Then you've got the war battles, which are played with a real-time strategy combat. You will have to decide at first if you want your troops to focus on defense, offense, movement, etc. Afterwards, you'll need to select the commanders and the type of class units you'll fight alongside with. Last, you'll decide on the formations to move forward against your enemies. Certain types of troops are stronger against others and so on, as in a triangle attack system. You won't directly attack your enemies when you come into contact, as your units will fight on their own based on your initial decisions. The majority of these skirmishes are optional for the main story, but some can be mandatory to recruit certain characters. It's fun and I like it. It's definitely a love letter to Suikoden, even though it decided to go action with its regular battle mechanics. The Drakengard games. All three games so far have the exact same battle mechanics. First, you've got your Musou style type of combat where you'll hack and slash your way through hordes of enemies. Bosses are no different since you'll still have to control your particular character against them. In Drakengard 2, you can use several characters, which gives more variety to the gameplay. Each controls very differently, and obviously some are better against specific hordes of enemies. In Drakengard 3, you only control Zero, but you can have up to 2 party members following you around. They barely do anything intelligent though, but that's irrelevant considering battles focus way more on your main character. Each Drakengard has dragon missions where you'll mount the giant reptile and go on these shooter missions. They all remind me of the gameplay in Panzer Dragoon, and they have this on-rail shooter feel even though it's regular aerial combat. All three games suffer from weird controls, especially the third one, mostly due to the wanky camera trying to focus on both you and your attacks. So sure, they aren't that great, but I'm pretty sure you'll get used to them. NieR Automata. Now that I covered Drakengard, I needed to cover NieR, right? Replicant only has one battle system, don't be confused, even if sometimes you'll have to fight in these bullet hell missions. It just changes perspectives on certain areas is all. Automata, however, is the one that completely changes genres for certain missions. No need to explain the super fast-paced hack and slash one where you can actually fight with different weapons if you want to. Oh, and the little robots you can control offer some third-person shooter elements. But then the game will turn into a shoot 'em up sometimes. You'll control a ship, or a mech to be precise, and just shoot the hell out of everything, even in the middle of bullet hell sections. In fact, the very first mission of this game is exactly like this, and some of them include a boss fight at the end which will also have to be played with the shoot 'em up controls. And last, these hacking missions, some of them being mandatory. It's shoot 'em up again, but from a top-down view, controlling this little thing. These missions usually have to be completed in a certain amount of very short time. Anyway, Automata is a fantastic game, and I can easily say it was mostly thanks to its variety in gameplay. Xenogears. Xenogears has two turn-based battle systems, both of them relying on combos that you can train or discover by trying different button combinations. Each one takes up points from the AP bar, but each character has their own. Only 3 characters can participate in battle, and they can also use spirit spells. For its time, this combat was very original and unique, and I actually like it a lot. Then there are the mech battles. However, each mech relies on fuel to fight, and they all have a specific amount that replace the AP bar, so instead, each type of attack uses fuel. You can gain more fuel by boosting on each turn if you want to, so therefore, your attacks will be stronger. Don't forget, characters also have ether attacks that can be pretty useful in certain fights. Overall, the system is still turn-based on each combat, but different at the same time, which feels pretty refreshing in my opinion. The exact same battle mechanics can be found in the Xenosaga trilogy, each with some small alterations of the original in Xenogears. The Trails of Cold Steel games. These quadrilogy's battle mechanics were probably influenced by Xenogears and Xenosaga, because you've got the regular battle system with the human characters and then the one with the mechs at your command. All played in turns, by the way. The difference is that in the regular combat you can move your characters in the battlefield. Of course they all have a limited area, but it can be wider depending on the quartz they have equipped. Positioning is actually important, especially during boss fights, as most of them have this nasty area of effect attacks, but so do you, so their position is just as important. Then there's the mech fights. Once again, combat is turn-based, but nobody can move. This plays more in a traditional style, where you just select one action and your character performs it immediately. In both systems though, there are joint attacks if one character does a critical hit. Enemies have weaknesses as usual, but they're more important during the mech fights. You can hit them on the head, the arms, or their bodies, and that will determine how much damage you can cause to them. In truth, this is a great series with two excellent battle systems. My favorite part is the unite attacks, of course. Number 1. .hack.gu. Just like the 4 Trails games, these 3 are one and the same in terms of story and gameplay. 3 volumes were released with outstanding combat, and then there's this amazing collection on the PlayStation 4 that includes an extra episode. You can only control Haseo, the main character, and 2 allies will fight by themselves during battle. Controls are quick and responsive, and the hit detection is perfect. Haseo can use a variety of different weapons and can change to any of them during a combo to cause more damage. Honestly, this battle system is simply amazing. But this great trilogy has yet another battle system. Some boss fights will require you to fight with Haseo's avatar, Skate. They will be one-on-one fights while the avatar can fly around. He will use a scythe to attack, but you can also shoot from afar and repel attacks. These battles remind me of games like Armored Core or even Son of the Enders. The controls are similar, but these are more limited to the actual hack and slash. Plus, you need to charge your drain attack to end the battle and hit the enemy at the right time on the right part. So it's a totally different combat feature that I can't find in any other game. So you've got 2 diverse systems like in the Drakengard games, except this trilogy plays them both like a true masterpiece. Alright guys, that's it. If you think there are more JRPGs with multiple battle systems that are good, not bad like this one, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!